all things wedding related, and welcome to the Wedding Wisdom Podcast with your hosts, Tonya Hoops and Morgan Powell.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wedding Wisdom. Today, we are going to be talking about the color of the year. We are officially in 2026, and so let's talk about what this year's color is.
Cloud Dancer.
Yes, Cloud Dancer.
I have heard so many different names, and I have come up
Dreamer.
with so many different
Yes.
names. Yes, so Cloud Dancer,
Yeah.
which is kind of like this really beautiful pale blue-white,
Yes.
which was a shock.
It was a shock because usually we have something either really vibrant and bright or something that's kind of a really deep, dark tone. And so seeing this color that was almost white, which sometimes people, white weddings are a really big deal, right? To have a beautiful white wedding. But a lot of times like magazines and editors are like, oh, we don't want a white wedding. It doesn't capture like, all this vibrance and stuff. And this year it's like, well, this is what the color of the year is.
I was going to say, everybody is going to be very on trend with classic white weddings this year. It's been interesting if we go back over the last few years, it's been a lot of neutrals.
Yeah, it has been a lot of neutrals. I think neutrals just lend themselves so well to being able to do so much with it. And with this color, it's got, as you said, it's got a little bit of that light blue in it, even though it's very white. Think of clouds with just a little bit of that blue sky, black background in it, not black background.
Nope, just a background
in it. So with that, it's just so soft, so elegant, so beautiful. And I can definitely see it pairing well with glass accents, with silver accents. So kind of those lighter, again, more silver tones.
Dreamy.
Yeah,
dreamy.
Exactly.
I think one of the things that we've talked about as we've thought about what this color means and what it looks like for the new year and what it could look like for weddings, especially those that are just starting to plan their 26 and 27 weddings. I think one of the biggest ways to really incorporate the theme or that color, if that's something you're wanting to do, is through texture. Yes. I think it lends itself to a lot of velvets and fur, faux fur, laces, all of that very delicate material. I don't know that you would say velvet is, but when I think of how it, like texturally,
it is, because when you rub it together, it crushes almost, right?
Yeah.
It's got that soft, luxurious feel, like you're laying in a soft cloud, right? Which is what kind of this color makes me think of is, you're in the clouds, you're dreaming, you're having just this beautiful moment. And while it's dancers, because, clouds dance across the sky, which I don't know if that's why they made it, but we're just going to make up that it is. It's just the way that you feel, just kind of luxurious. And the fabrics you're talking about are luxurious. They're soft and luxurious.
Yeah. I think you can have a lot of fun with fashion.
Yeah.
I remember one of my favorite wedding dresses I ever saw was a bride. She had a ball gown, but the bodice was all feathers.
Yes.
And it was beautiful and just so fun and unique. And I think the word dancer for me, at least, is this kind of fun, playful thing. So, clouds all about, daydreaming and looking at and dancing across the sky. There's a lightness to the clouds and how they move and how they interact with each other. And I hope that we see that in weddings, that they stop taking themselves maybe quite so seriously. And we see some of that really fun, light whimsy that can be done.
I also think it gives permission for people to be their authentic self, your own dreams, right? So whatever you dream of should be your wedding. You shouldn't go to a wedding and say, oh, they did this, and so I want to do my interpretation of this at my wedding. I think we've had a period of time with weddings. Actually, I know we've had a period of time with weddings where opulence, bigger, bolder, more was in, right?
Right.
Looking at Pinterest and saying, oh, look at that floral arch. And don't take me wrong, I love a great floral arch. But look at that floral arch that's like over the top, right?
Right.
And we were doing things more to impress maybe than to say, this is what I really have dreamed of my wedding being. And so I think we're back to that point where it's like, it's about you. It's about the authentic you, who you are as a couple, and just make it soft and luxurious.
Yeah, I love that. I think one of the things to think about as you're thinking about colors, The great thing is this color cloud dancer really plays well with a myriad of colors.
Yes.
So you can add it as an accent. It doesn't have to be your focal color. It could be, this really soft napkin or a table linen or something. Instead of staying within the ivories and the whites and stuff like that, you could add almost this New England type feel to your wedding palette, which would really, I think, elevate and add just a beautiful period to what could be an otherwise overwhelming or chaotic color palette with lots of really bold colors. I think this will help kind of soften and ground it.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, there's so many different colors you can do. Pink tones, yellow tones, purple tones. There's so many different colors you can do with it.
Butter yellow is one of the trend colors for 2026.
Yep.
So that would play so beautifully and nicely with this.
Yeah, because you've got
theme.
that butter rich fill with this luxurious kind of pale fill. So yeah, really great. It's a fun color. I think at first we were all like, wait, what is this color they're coming out with? This is white? Because it looks very white with a little bit of that blue, as we've talked about. And that's usually a shock to us because we're usually waiting, as I said, for that vibrant color. But I think it just plays so well to such a beautiful year. And I think we're just ready for that just feeling of coziness.
For an exhale. I don't know about
I think I was trying to say it in the right way, and you actually just nailed it because I was trying to figure out how do I say this and, be politically correct, which is that even a thing anymore?
I think we're all just ready for an exhale. And really, when I look at this color and I've had some time to sit with it, it does just feel like a giant exhale.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a perfect way to say it. And for those that are getting married, what a perfect time to look at these colors. And now let's talk about, do you have to do the color of the year? No. Again, when I talk about you should be yourself, if you want a really rich, bold red and you want hot pinks, then you should do yourself. You should do what's important to you. Because a color of the year comes out, what's going to happen with the color of the year is a lot of fashion is going to revolve around it. A lot of the home patterns are going to revolve around it. That's what happens with the color of the year. And so you'll see it out a lot. You'll see this color or variations of that color. And it will run for a couple of years because like anything, it starts in high fashion. It starts in the high, the couture houses, and then it runs down through to your like they would say in a certain movie, Devil Wears Prada, to your casual corners, which doesn't exist anymore. So I can use that name. But yeah, it definitely is a color that we'll see for a while now. But I think, again, do the color that's right for you. I think most people don't just put something in their house because that's the color of the year. They still have their house represent them, and your wedding should represent you because it's the beginning of your house, of your life together.
Oh, you couldn't have said that more perfectly. I love it.
Yeah. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about the color of the year, just short and sweet, because I think it's important to understand why you're going to start probably seeing a lot of silver and glass tones, because we've been in a gold tone recently. And so you're going to start seeing some changes happen because of what's coming down the pipeline with color. So we hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening to the Wedding Wisdom Podcast with your hosts, Tonya Hoops and Morgan Powell. To keep up to date with the latest episodes, like, subscribe, and follow at Wedding Wisdom Blog on all social media platforms. To submit content, please email weddingwisdomblog@gmail.com.